Hey, David here, and I'm just going to show you how to get to my tier tests. So basically what my tier tests they're simple beginner tests that kind of put you in real world scenarios and evaluate your knowledge as a beginner programmer. This is not for really advanced programmers, as it doesn't go into like really in-depth APIs or really in-depth computer science topics, but maybe like high school senior, freshman, sophomore in college, it'd be good to understand these for Java if you want to specialize in that. Or it might be a good refresher for if you're trying to go to an interview. So this is basically GitHub, and what GitHub is basically a place that has a bunch of folders. And in these folders, people can put their own stuff. It's kind of like a web locker. And each person's web locker is very special because it is a Git locker, essentially. And basically what a Git locker, or Git repository as I'll refer to it as from now on, a Git repository basically just stores all the changes you've ever made to that folder. So if you add something, it saves that. If you delete something, it saves that. And that's really important if you mess up and you need to go back in your code, or you want to see how this thing has evolved. So right here, this is my repository for tier tests. And as you notice, I have a gitignore, a readme.txt, and I have a single test in here, tier 3 modifying code. And I'll explain my tier system later. But if you just wanted to try this one out, you would just download the zip right down here. And then you just want to basically extract it. So we'll just copy that right to the desktop. And what you can actually do is just take Eclipse and point it right to the unzipped folder. And then Eclipse will pop up. And inside of here, this package explorer, you just want to import and go to General, Existing Projects into Workspace, Browse, select Tier Test Master, and then check all these tests that you want to import. So right like that, it'll import. Yep, right like that, it'll import. And now you can look at my modifying code tier test for tier test 3. That's basically all you need to do if you want to get up and running with this. If you want to do a little bit more with Git, what you want to do is you want to come here to git-scm and download, go to downloads and downloads for Windows. Now, once you've done that, and I've already downloaded it earlier, I have it in here somewhere. There we go. You can install it. So user account control, yes. And then basically normal setup wizard, next. This is the one that you want to change, or at least I change a lot. Instead of the advanced context menu, git cheetah plugin, I just use git bash here and git GUI here. And then use git bash only. No, I'll run git from the Windows command prompt, just in case I want to run it from the command prompt. And check out Windows style, commit Unix style line endings. Sounds fine. Haven't looked into that too much, but I'm sure it might have something to do with operating system compatibility. But if someone would like to tell me what that means in the comments, I'd be greatly appreciated. And then we don't want to view release notes. So now that we've installed that, we have git GUI here and git bash here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just git GUI here, and we're going to clone an existing repository. And then notice how the my web address is https github helloq tier tests. Just copy that and Control V and just add a .git at the end, right like that. And then your target directory, let's call this tier test workspace. So this would be your workspace, and you just clone it. And now that it's cloned, move that folder over here. So this is the one we cloned over, tier test workspace. And what we can do now is again point Eclipse towards there. So we can open up Eclipse and browse to tier test workspace. And once that loads, proceed with the import general existing, browse, tier test workspace, finish, and again, Java code's right in there. So let's say I wanted to get rid of this. I'll show you actually right now how I'll get rid of this error. And I haven't allowed any more people to commit, basically make changes to my overarching tests, but maybe in the future I will. But I'll just show you how I do that. So like, let's say I wanted to get rid of this import Java stroke is never used. I'll just remove it. And in here, I'll add a generated serial version UID, some final long, sounds great. Save it, and I'll exit Eclipse, and here's my Git GUI. If I rescan, it shows the changes I've made. So for instance, I got rid of this, in red I've gotten rid of this Java HEW stroke, and I've added this little comment section and the private static final long serial version ID. So basically I just click on the little icon right here, goes to tier 3, I add a commit message, added a serial ID to, and this was the stock market graph. And this little note tells the changes that you've made, and then you can commit. So now that they've been committed to your workspace, you now need to push your workspace to the server. So you just click push and push, and it'll ask for your username and then your password. And success, it was changed. That's basically all there is to it. So good luck with the tier tests, and I'll explain those in another video.